Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, using Cachet Tarot. It doesn't give a created by, which still throws me off, but there is a topthatpublishing.com on the back if you want to check that out and search it out. I literally was just looking through the book that's here. No mention of who created it, which I still think that's odd. But anyway, supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Website rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, U as an umbrella. Down there in the corner, I think over here. Okay. Aries. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Things are very strategic already. Which is not bad. I know Aries can be strategic. But, like, usually I would say if Aries is going to be strategic, you know what you want. And I'm starting to question if that's been revealed yet. This reminds me of, like, I haven't done this in a while, but, like, when I doodle. Sometimes I doodle, and I'll start out with a spiral and a couple of this and a couple of that. And then a picture starts to emerge, and I start, like, so, like, maybe I started with a spiral, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is an eye, and I start drawing, like, an eye. Then it's like, well, wait a minute, it's not an eye, it's a boat. And then I start drawing a boat, and then it just keeps evolving until I finally see what I'm drawing, and I'm like, oh, I was drawing an ice cream sundae the whole time. I just didn't realize what I was doing. It's like part of my brain knew, the other side said, haha, it's a secret. You are creating something, but it's almost like you don't realize what you're creating. It keeps evolving, which is not bad. You definitely are trying to create something, but it's evolving. I feel like, you know, the ability to adapt in Aries, you guys really can adapt. Whatever you decide you want to, if you're like, you know what, I'm going to go with this, I'm going to roll with this, Aries can adapt pretty easily as long as you feel like it's in your favor. As long as it's in your favor, granted, I give you that. So it's almost like, for example, if we're going to use a work analogy here, I go into this company, I apply for a job, it's job X, I go through the process, and they're like, well, we don't know about job X for you, but if you want job Q, we'll give you job Q. And you're like, well, how much does it pay? A little bit more than the other job, a little bit more than job X. I'll give it a shot, why not? You go into job Q, and you're like, you do that for a little while, and you're like, you know what, I don't know about this. They're like, well, job H pays a lot more, but you got to do this and that. And you're like, really? Tell me more about this job H. And then as you keep evolving, it's almost like you started this job thinking you were going to do data entry. Next thing you know, you're outside digging post holes, but you make 3 times as much as you thought you were, and you're like, I don't care. I'll dig post holes as long as I make it 3 times as much. I really don't care. It just keeps evolving, but it evolves in a way that you're totally not expecting. And I feel like that's what's going on with this situation. Whatever this is, it keeps evolving. It keeps taking you down roads that you were totally not expecting. I also feel like this is a road that you're very much loving. It's very interesting to me that you don't really know where it is, but you're very excited to see where it goes. Is this hard? This is hard for other people around you. Other people around you are trying to understand, like, trying to see where you're going. They're trying to get, like, an idea of, like, where is Aries headed? And it's almost like, well, if I was to tell you the truth is, I don't know. I don't know. It's also evolving in the sense of, like, I think I'm going towards X. So I tell people I'm going towards X. And they're like, how'd you end up at Q? You said you were going towards X. Well, they weren't going to give me X, but they offered me Q, and I was like, Q will work, so I took Q. And next thing they know, you're doing H. You're like, what happened to Q? How'd you get to H? What happened to Q? I got a better offer, and then H serves me better, so I went to H. People know you. People might be accusing you of playing games. You're not playing games. I just feel like this is one of those moments where somebody might mess with Aries. I don't really think that's smart, but yeah, the Tower card, half in, half out. Ace of Pentacles, half in, half out. People get bent out of shape because, and I feel like there might be some accusations here to where they think you're lying to them or you're playing games, blah, 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 blah. That is totally not what's going on here. Oh, I hate when people, you don't accuse Aries of that. That's a bad idea. Hopefully this reading comes forward to you in the right timing. So before that happens, you get ahead of it so you're not triggered and you don't just rip somebody's head off. You don't accuse Aries of lying. That's just, you're asking for it. Ooh, somebody doing, that's, you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's like, that could be a trigger. Like, Aries does not take that well. So if you see somebody get upset with like, how'd you get here, how'd you get there, maybe you want to get ahead of it and explain it before they get a little bit too full of themselves. Because if they trigger you, it's not about you standing up for yourself, because Aries can stand up for themselves. I know. That's not an issue. But I feel like Aries would also say, like, you'll say the truth. How it comes out might be another thing. It may come out very, very sharp. Maybe in this situation you don't really need that here. Maybe that might not serve you in the long run if you give the truth very sharply. So if you get ahead of the situation and before they get too full of themselves, I'm just going to explain it so that they can just calm their jets, cool their jets, whatever you want to say. Because I see like this could be a problem. Somebody here is not understanding where you're ending up and seems to be very frustrated that you didn't go where they thought you were going. And it seems to really frustrate them and frazzle them, and it freaks them out. And they might have a bad reaction to that. And I just get this idea of somebody accusing you of something that, like, that's not what, you don't do that with an Aries. It's just a bad idea. If you can get ahead of it and help them understand, I feel like they'll be okay. I feel like you might need to also tell them, just maybe update them in the truth of an Aries. When opportunity shows itself, if it's better for you, you're going to move forward to what you need to move towards. You're not going to stunt yourself just because of other people's expectations. You're not going to hold back just because of other people's expectations. Something shows up in front of you and it's going to work for you, you're going to take it because that's what you do. You move forward where it's best for you. Help them have the gratitude. Help them appreciate where you're really gone, where you've been and where you're going. Also, give them that heads up that, like, if more opportunities come your way, if something better comes your way, you're not going to hold back for them either on that. When better things show up, you're going to go towards them. This is not the end of your road. When you have better opportunities show up, you're going to continue towards them. You got the moon showing up, and then the action card, I want to say it's the moon. The action card is very interesting. The moon shows up in the future for you, and then you're leaping towards it. Wherever you've gone so far, this is not the end of your jumping forward. So if we're going to use that work analogy, I applied for X, they said no, but we'll give you Q. You did Q, and then people said, oh, there's H, but that's this, that, and the other thing, but it's 3 times the pay. You're like, yes, H is for me. H is not the end of the line for you. H is not the line. You might switch to numbers. This one's not even an alpha. This is a numeric. We're going into number 13, because why not? You might shock people again. You see something you want, you're going to leap forward to it. Whoever this person is that gets bent out of shape, first of all, I highly recommend you get ahead of it so they don't get too full of themselves, and you're like, listen, just so you know, this is how things evolve for me, and I don't wait. If there's an opportunity, I go for it. Give them also the second heads up. If something else also comes up down the line, I'll probably go for that too. When an opportunity knocks, I'm not lazy about it. I jump on it. I go for it. When opportunity is there, it's mine, and I'm taking it. I'm not waiting for somebody else to get it. It's there. It's for me. I'm going. So give them the heads up that, like, if something else better comes down the line, you'll go for that too, because it looks like it's gonna. You got something else unexpected coming in. I keep getting something about 6 to 8 months. I know this is general read, but it keeps popping in my head, 6 to 8. So just to be fair, maybe it's not months, could be weeks, could be days. I don't know. There's a 6 to 8, 6 to 8, 6 to 8. Something about 6 to 8 keeps popping in when I have these cards. So, and I guess 1 and 5. Well, that's interesting. Thought I was done with this. 1 and 15 is the devil card. 1 plus 5 is 6. So I don't know if that's where the 6 is coming from. But the devil card is telling me whoever this person is that's getting bent out of shape, if you inform them ahead of time, they're an ally. If they try to figure it out on their own, I feel like they're going to accuse you of something that's just foolish. It's just going to be out of frustration. They're getting a little full of themselves, and their frustration is coming right out of their mouth, and it's bad. If it happens that way, I feel like the two of you could end up enemies, because you're not going to like that, and you're going to say something in retort, is what I'm getting, and you could end up enemies. So this is another reason to get ahead of this. It's the difference between a support versus a detriment, or a credit versus a detriment, you know what I mean? It's a credit versus a debit, I guess you could say. If you get ahead of this and explain this, it doesn't get that bad. Once this person understands more about, opportunities there, I'm not just going to sleep on it, I'm going to move forward. Once they understand that, I feel like they're an ally. They're a better ally. They understand that's how you work, and that they also understand that it does work out. It always works out. It just works out. Supportive is better. If it doesn't, I just feel like this person could get in your way and cause issues otherwise. It could be, just to be fair, this could be a work situation that you are moving forward on. The person you're dealing with could be a spouse or somebody like that, or a friend, or somebody who doesn't understand, and they feel like you owe them an explanation for whatever reason. I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying you do. They just may feel that you do. If you get ahead of it and they understand, again, supportive energy will help you go further. It'll be better for you. If they're combative and become more of an enemy energy, it's just not going to work to your advantage. I mean, enemies usually don't work to your advantage. Usually. I don't know. I'm just going to let that go right there. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.